Good morning. So we're at a critical juncture and something is about to give. Can you sense it? Can you sense it, you all? Kitty, don't you go down that, you're not going to jump down. You sit down, Kitty. She don't have no business jumping because her bones are so frail. I should put her in the house or she's going to get hurt. As long as she sits there and watches it, I'm okay. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. You can watch it, Kitty, but you're not getting off that porch. We are at a critical juncture, you all. We are, and I know you can sense it. You can sense what's coming, and it's not good. It's not good. I'm not sensing something good coming. I'm not. I'm sensing the exact opposite. And if we thought 2022 was bad, I think 2023 has a lot more in store, but on a whole different level. And this is not gloom and doom. It's not. It's just talking about how you feel, what you're sensing in the air, because we are human beings, and some of us have that intuition, that sixth sense that is kicking in because of our spiritual connection, because of our psychic connection, whatever. Hold on, you all. She ain't getting down from there. No, get back here. You are not, Kitty. You are not getting down. You're going back in the house. You're not coming out. Okay, you're not. You're not going out. You all. I'm sorry. She tried to jump off that. She tried to jump off that porch, and I'm not having it. She's going in the house because she'll break her leg. Well, she's on her deathbed. She really is. And if I can get this. Okay. Something's about to happen. And we've got psychic abilities. We've got spiritual abilities. We're waking up. Humanity is waking up. We're seeing what's happening all around. We know that things are not right. They're not right, you all. They're not. And if you got a YouTube channel or any type of social media account, you know that you have the pressure. It's like you're in a pressure canner. Really, it's like you're in a pressure canner. And that little thing on the top is about right. It's going. You're under pressure. You really are. You may be under pressure at your job. You may be under pressure in your family. You may be under pressure with a group of friends that you hang around with. You just may be under pressure, period. When it comes to your perception of reality, what you're seeing, when you see things aren't adding up, that there's much more to the story than what meets the eye. Looks are not everything. They're not. It's what's not being said is what we're hearing. And what's not being seen is what we're seeing. We're seeing it, we're hearing it, we're sensing it deep within our spiritual beings inside this body. That's what we're doing. And I got to be honest, I don't know how much longer I will be allowed on here, on this YouTube or any type of social media. But I have to share what I feel led within my spirit to share. I know that. I know the day will come. None of us will be on social media because that's the way to connect. I think I figured out the reason they like short videos. You got short videos, people can't get on here and connect with one another, and you can't say very much within a short period of time. Well, I think a lot can be said, really, in a short period of time. If that's what it takes, a lot can be said. That's right. So we're at a critical juncture. It's my cup. I was trying to get some coffee earlier. It's got love on it. It's the most important thing to have on the inside of you is love. Everything else is nothing compared to love. Okay, love will sustain you. It will give you the strength that you need in your darkest hour. Okay, it will. The strength that you need in your darkest hour, because it is the light that shines within you. And you will take it with you when you leave this planet, this earth, this realm. That love will go with you. It will never die. It will never fade away. It will see you through to the other side. It will. And I'm not just saying it. It will see you through. You get you some love in your heart. Get some peace. Get some understanding. Get some wisdom. It's worth more than anything in this world. It really is. Because if you've got that and other people got that, then you have everything. And you're not lacking in nothing that truly matters to your spirit. Now, granted, we live in this world. We do. And we have to have things to live in this world, you know, like food, shelter, clothing. But love, when it comes down to it, you can be a very, very, very lonely, hopeless, helpless person if you don't have that love within you. You could be searching and searching and searching, trying to fill that place within you, and you'll never find it because you search from the wrong place. Okay, you can. So that's what I did. I woke up, I listened to the rain pouring down rain all night long. Well, when I did go to bed, like around past midnight, the rain was so horrendously falling. And I got up and thought, is there any kind of flood coming? Did you all sense that? The rain is pouring so hard. Hold on, you all might want to take this jacket off. Let me, I am going to take this jacket off. I can't pop you up here. You're going to have to look down at the ground for a moment. And I got to get this jacket off because I'm going to get hot. All right, I'm getting it. I'm getting my jacket off. Okay, I got it off. I do. We need the rain to fill the rivers back up. Yes. And this rain is going to put pressure on the earth. It is. It's like, could you imagine having extra weight? Say you're packing a certain amount of weight on you, and then there's more weight that comes and comes and comes and comes. How much more can your body take until it breaks, until you get fractures like the earth, really? And the earth's not only dealing with the rain and stuff, it's dealing with all these energies that are flowing into it, because the earth is like a grounding, is what it is. It grounds you. It grounds houses too. It's absorbing it all. The end times, we are in a type of an end time. Yes, we are. And I'm not going to say we're not. The end of one life, the end of a way of life that we've known for hundreds of years. Yeah, we are in that type of a time, because this life that you know, this world that you live in, is rapidly changing and evolving. And there are some who will evolve with it. And there's some who will not, but yet they will adapt to the ever-changing world. They will. I want to encourage you not to give up. Not to give up despite what you're feeling. Despite you may be feeling the darkness coming, like darkness is coming. It's walking the earth. It is. You may feel like giving up. Don't. Even though you sense it, you see it. Well, it senses you and sees you too. Do you think it's running away from you? No, it's not. So you can't run away from the darkness either. You can let them know, I see you and I sense you. Even though you see me and you sense me and you're hunting me out, I'm not running away from you. I'm not. That's what you got to do. It's not going to run away from you. You can't hide from it. You can't. You can stand up to it, and it may cost you your life in the end, but at least you stood up to it. It's right, you all. And it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted to stand up against the darkness, against the evil that's on the earth, to stand up against people who treat you bad. It's not easy. It's very hard to do it, to stand up. It's not for the weak of heart. It's not. It takes a lot of strength. It really does. And have you noticed that when you do stand up and you do speak up against, like, maybe some bullies and stuff, you feel better on the inside, because you thought, No, I'm not going to let it happen anymore. I'm going to stop it. I can see what you're doing. I'm not going to let it get to me anymore. I'm not. Your tactics are not working, because there are a lot of tactics in every facet of society that's taking place, and something is coming. And I know you sense it. You've been sensing it. It's coming little by little. It's showing itself little by little, and it's not alone. And you may say, Gina, what are you talking about? It's. When you say they, what do you mean they? Well, if you're not spiritually inclined, it's not going to do me no good to try to even put a face on they or it. It's not. If you cannot sense what's going on around you, it's not going to do me no good to put any face on anything. I shouldn't have to put a face on the unseen, because the unseen can be felt by a lot of people who are spiritually awake on the inside, who are psychically. You got spiritualists, spirituality, you got psychic abilities, things like this. You are, even the people who are psychic, they know something's going on and they can see. And if you got a spiritual gift within you, you can see too. You can see what's coming. You can see what's out there, because your eyes are wide open. You most definitely can. And even these people who do the tarot card reading, they did a reading and they want to know what's coming on. Oh, I'm sure they can sense it. They can see it, because it's going to show up in the cards is what's going to happen. It's going to show up in the cards. And some of these people who have that knowledge, when they do that, when you do your tarot readings and you see something like that, you know that for a fact that you can feel the energy that's coming from what you're seeing in those cards. You know you can feel it. You know you can see it, and you can't stop it. And you know you can't. You know it's very powerful. That's right, you all. I don't do tarot reading. I've listened to it from time to time, and I don't have nothing against it. For people who do that, I don't. I don't have anything against people who are psychic, who can see into the future. That's a gift that's given to them. It is. Just like any gift, any other gift, it's how you use that gift. It really is. It's how you use your gift that you have been given. And gifts comes in many different ways, many different things. You can have like healing. You can have psychic abilities. You can have, I don't know, some people they walk past something, and any electrical devices, their body affects the electrical devices. And you have to ask yourself, how come my body affects electrical devices? What's in my body that I can't wear watches? What's in my body that causes like a glass table to shatter when I put my hand on it and I reach a certain emotion? What is in my body? What has caused me to do this? Am I all that I think I am, or is there something more to me and I'm not getting it, and I don't know what it is because it's been hidden from me? Do I have some other type of DNA in my body? Because there are people on this earth who have another type of DNA inside their body, and it's not the common type. There's other species that were made. There are with a different DNA structure. Now, granted, we all have some type of DNA, but there's other people that have like alien. Let's just say alien, and I don't mean no offense. I'm just saying otherworldly DNA in their bodies. Okay, why do we have all these different blood types? Why aren't we all exactly the same, from a same whatever? Why? Because something's going on. There's more to the picture than what we've been told. And perhaps all the information is out there, and we just haven't gotten curious enough to look for it and find it. Our world is changing. People are changing. Some people are changing genetically on the inside of their being. Okay, they are. And some people who have a certain structure on the inside, they're being taken out. Some people are being taken out. People have been used as guinea pigs, is what they've been used for. Guinea pigs. Just like the animals, same thing. Do experiments on them. These extraterrestrials, if you want to call them that, these aliens, these other life forms, yes, they have abducted human beings, and they have performed experiments on them. They've taken their sperm, they've taken their eggs, they've taken their ovums, they've done all kinds of things to them. People have said, when I was abducted, they ripped my arm off. Then they put it back. There's all kinds of stories of abductions and what's been done to some people. There is, and you're going to tell that person who has that ingrained within them is like a nightmare trying to fight off some type of a being that's trying to rape them, like a woman or a man, trying to fight them off in that other realm because they got taken. No, see, this is real, you all. We ain't playing with, we're just not making no make-believe. This stuff is happening. There are beings out there who have the ability to come in and out of dimensions and worlds. And they can interact with us whether we want them to or not. You can even see them coming. They may not have the ability to harm your body. Remember Job in the Bible when Satan came before God? This is what they're drawing. He said, surely Job will sit and he'll curse you. He'll curse you. He said, okay, go ahead and do with him what you want, but do not harm his, do not take his life. You don't have the authority to take his life. So you saw what he did to him. He took all his children and all that. He destroyed everything that Job ever knew, all that he worked for all his life, put scabs all over his body, and he had to sit there and scrape the sores off his body and put ashes on his sores. That's what he had to do because he was allowed to do it. Why did God allow Job to go through that right there? Why? He could have stopped it because he knew that Job would not turn against him. He knew he wouldn't. He could have stopped it, but he didn't stop it. He allowed the adversary to do that, to cause all of these diseases, cause all of these armies to come against him and stuff. Why, you all? What is going on? There is some kind of a war taking place in the spiritual realm. Okay, there is. There's gods out there. There's not just one God out there. There's all kinds of gods out there. Pick your choice of God you want to serve, you all. That's really what it is. The Egyptians did it. All these other places, all these throughout history, these civilizations had gods that they worship. Who were these gods and where did they come from? Are they just, I don't know, just appear out of nowhere? Were they fictitious? Were they made up? Did they come from outer space? Are they some type of advanced species that demand sacrifice and all that kind of stuff? Are they a species like that who want to have humanity as their slaves? Really ask yourself that. Ask yourself like that. Do it. Have they already been on this earth? Have they already got their system set up? Do they got their system set up? And humanity is too blind to see what's happening. Okay, because let's face it, they have some kind of really weird and strange ceremonies that take place at CERN, and they don't look pretty nice. They don't. And there's lots of kind of really, really horrific rituals that take place too around the world. Who are they doing these rituals to? Because these beings, these other gods, oh, they're powerful too, you all. I'm not going to say that they're not powerful, but there is other gods who are powerful, more powerful, and they're not bad like that, you all. There's other angelic beings, there's other beings. They're not all bad, just like not all humans are bad, you all. They're not. There is a battle taking place in the spiritual realm. There's a battle of armies, like the Lord of the Rings, a battle of 5 armies, and they were different. They weren't all humans. They weren't. There were like wolves. There was like the birds. There was like the elves. There was like the lakemen. There was the who was that other one? Dwarfs. There were different types of species. I think that they're okay. Let's thinking. Okay, so how many different types of species was in the battle of the Lord of the Rings? And was that? And then if you think about what other people have said in life, that there are only like around so many species on this physical earth. It's like about the same number. Something's more to it. And how come you got these creatures coming out from the earth, and they're ugly and they're grotesque, and they eat flesh. That's what they do. He brought up, that Sauron brought up an army to the Dark Lord Sauron, and he says he hasn't taken full whatever yet, but he is. And there was a great big eye that sat on top of this great big tower. It's a flaming eye, and that flaming eye in the spiritual realm, it could see everybody too. And yeah, it's not good, you all. There is an all-seeing eye out there too. There is, and there's no. Don't play with the darkness. Don't play with it, you all, because it's not playing. It's not playing with you. It means business. Don't play with it. Don't downplay it. Um, it doesn't light. It doesn't like any beings of light at all. It doesn't like you. It's got a light within you, and it's a good light. It doesn't like you, and it's coming after you. It's going to take you out because because your light is shattering its darkness, and it can no longer hide in the shadow. So it's going to. You're in their I'm in their target. I'm right there. I'm probably sitting there on one of those boards. Okay, we got you, Gina, honey. We're coming after you. Just like they come after other people. They know who you are. If you shed too much light on this darkness in this world, because this world belongs to the darkness is going to come after you. Are we alone? No, we're not alone. We're also protected by the light within us. And we have ministering angels all around us, you all. If you belong to the light, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in God, and you know what? Throughout the ages, they say that they were given different names throughout the ages. It wasn't always just Jesus. It was like another name. It's like the same deity with different names, with all the same attributes. That's what they said. See, it's all wild. It would take us many, many lifetimes to figure out all that's happening and why it's happening. Many, many lifetimes to try to get a good picture of it. I don't want to come back again. I don't. This is my 24th lifetime here on Earth, 24th, and I don't remember about all the other ones, but I know I got a certain type of skill set within me that I should not have. You know, like how do you know how to do all the things that you do, and it comes naturally like that, and you've never even done nothing like that in your life? Think about it. How do you know how to do something like that? How do you have a knowledge of a certain subject area in life? And it comes natural, and you wouldn't even known it. Think about it, you all. What is going on? What are we not being told? Really, what are we not being told? Something. The soul of man never dies. I am on my way to those mansions there, where the soul of man never dies. Your soul never dies. Dear friends, there'll be no sad farewells. There'll be no tear-dimmed eyes, where all is peace and joy and love, where the soul of man never dies. How could people be inspired to write songs like that? Think about it. How could they be inspired to write songs like that if there's not more to this life than what meets the eye? Some people say, oh, well, when I die, that's it. That's it. Okay, that's fine. I know that my spirit or my soul, whatever you want to call it, it's going to leave this body, and it's going to go back to where it came from. It's going to leave the body. It's going to go back to where it came from. They say that Earth is like a big gigantic classroom. You're here to learn, and if you don't get it right in one lifetime, you're going to come back and you're going to keep going and going and going until you get it right. It's kind of like a matrix or something like that. Until you've learned your lesson, like one great big classroom. And some people, I'm sure there's so many lifetimes they've already been over there. They're probably on 100 lifetimes because they can't learn their lesson. If you think of that theory right there. But then, are you more than what you realize? Do you have more? Is there more power living in you than what you realize? I would say yes, there is. There really is. Untapped power. And one day, it's going to come out. It is. It's going to come out. You won't be able to stop it if you're truly of the light, because we're all connected. We are connected. Whether you want to be connected to Gina Honey or not, whether you feel Gina Honey, you've done lost it. You're connected. You really are. I can joke about that. I can. I know that there is a spiritual connection with people that we have never met in our whole entire life. You're a total stranger, and you feel like you get to talk, and you feel like you've known them all your life. You've known them all your life. It's said that you will be known as you are known. Some say, we made a soul contract to come to the earth at this particular moment in time. Some people say that. They do. Some people talk about walk-ins. Gina, you're a walk-in because those 3 individuals came down in a beam of light. And they did. Right here. See where this, time plant is? right around that area where the time plant is, back in around 2018, I think. It could be like in the very beginning of 2019. I don't have an exact timestamp. One was a small extraterrestrial, around 3 foot, might be under 3 foot. One was an older lady, short. She looked like me in my future because I see myself in my future. And one was a young lady with long brown wavy hair. And that young brown wavy hair, the lady, stood right here looking at that eastern sky, and I was at my door right here. That young lady looked like me when I was younger. She did like a younger version of me, and I knew exactly what was happening. She was going to be me. I was going to be her. We would become one, more or less, because I'm still me inside my body, and my life is going to change. And I worried about my daughter because I thought, well, this woman is going to be so outgoing. My daughter's so quiet. I don't know how it's going to work. And the lady, which looked like me in my future, she was still sitting right. She was sitting down, and the small extraterrestrial being was standing beside her. She read my thoughts, and she looked at me, and she said, "It's okay. It's only going to be 4 years." I'm in my 4th year, is what I'm in. My 4th year. I don't know when that 4th year started, and I've said this time and time again. I wish I could find a timestamp. I know I'd be able to find it on the Facebook if I could go back and listen to every single live video that I did, but that's like nearly impossible. So there are other worlds. There's other things other than this world. There's other worlds. There's other realms. There's other dimensions. You know, people say you're ascending to the 5D. We're ascension symptoms. Well, before I can ascend, I better get right on the inside of my body. My spirit better be ramped up on the inside. My spirit, I'm not talking about my DNA or my whatever. I'm talking about my spirit on the inside of me. My light being spirit. It better wake up a little bit more. It better. Before I go ascending up into the clouds. That's right, you all. Behold, he's coming in the clouds, and every eye will see him, even those who pierced him. That's what it says. Yeah, this is wild. It is wild. And you see what we see, what's in these clouds. There's something else in these type of clouds right here. These clouds that we're seeing nowadays are not normal clouds. If you watched that video last night, and I do apologize, it was kind of long. It made me kind of tired in Tennessee. They're like black ships in the clouds. And when you zoom up closer on those clouds, you can see little black cubes, and you can see white. It looks like a computerized a sky with all types of components in them. It's hard to explain. There's something in the clouds too. And when I was looking at the clouds, a screenshot of it after I ended that video that I had taken, I thought, you know, I'm seeing the same type of structure in the stars at times. Not just the star that we zoomed up the other night, but on some of the other stars that I've zoomed up on, and that I zoom up on that star right here. Look at this. The star that I zoom up on that I like, it's my favorite. It's like right here every morning. That's like the the north-south sky. It's like comes up right above this tree right here. And I see those little black squares in them, and I see the shapes, the like digital like patterns. And I know some people say, oh, it's just water. There's a star up there, and water is a being and something. Well, I'm seeing what I'm seeing in the clouds. I'm seeing it in the stars also. When I've looked at it really closely, there's something going on. We're at a critical juncture. This is what this video is about. We're at a critical juncture in this life. Something is about to happen, and can you sense it? Because I can sense it. Things are being brought out into the light, and the dark doesn't like it. Who's the dark, Gina? I'm not even going to tell you who's the dark is. If you cannot figure the difference between a dark and a light, just think of good and bad. Even a child knows when they're doing bad. A child. So you're a grown adult now, so you should know the difference between right and wrong. But then you can see nowadays everything has been flipped around like Alice in Wonderland. Everything is not as it seems. Okay, because she's literally forced upside down, and her world has changed. Literally flipped herself upside down, you all, with the Alice in Wonderland. It's wild. We're living in some type of a Alice in Wonderland world right now. We are. And people who are on social media, you all, this is not for the faint of heart of what I'm doing, because it's sure it is. and other people with other YouTube channels, when they've got a message they want to get out, or even talk about a certain subject matter, even though there's nothing wrong with the subject matter they're talking about. Like this UFO stuff, why don't you want people to know about these UFOs? Why the hush hush? I know why the hush hush, because it's going to cause mass panic, mass chaos, and you ain't going to be able to control it. Really, if the whole civilization, the whole humanity found out about the other worldly beings and that there are other life forces out there and what some of these life forces look like and what they eat, oh, that's going to send us all, it's going to chaos, and no army in the world would be able to control this population, this human population, at the numbers that it's at right now. They wouldn't be able to control it. It'd be impossible. Look, it's coming up. So we got some fog. I'm sitting here talking about this, and this fog decides it wants to come up while I'm talking out of the clear blue. Well, let me ring this wind chime. Now, how about that? You stay over there. I mean it, you all. It can stay over there. That's what I mean, because it came up out of the blue while I was talking. It can stay off this property. Stay out there in the woods where you're at. Don't be coming up on here. There was no fog at all until I started talking about that darkness. So it's associated with that fog. There's something in the mist. There's energies in the mist. Okay, there is. Yeah. You got a spiritual drip going on? Gina, honey, you're like a spiritual drip. That's fine. That's fine, you all. It's fine and dandy. So I am a charismatic person, whether you have seen it or not. There is a side to me. Good. See what it did? It went. The frequency sent that away. It did. It tried to. You all really did. It tried to come up here. Look how fast it went away. I told it with the frequency, and I meant it. I really, truly did. I meant it. I meant it to tell that fog to go away, that mist. That's why I rung these. My intent inside my heart matched what I was saying. My frequency inside my heart matched what I was saying. I thought, this right here, no, you get off my property. You go back into the woods where you came from. Okay, we are powerful beings. We are. On the inside, you're spiritually powerful. You have gifts. You do. People have psychic abilities. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being spiritually in tune. There's nothing wrong with having any psychic abilities, any other type of ability. There's nothing wrong with it if you're using it for the good of the people. That's why you're given it, so you can use it for good. Now, when you use it for bad, well, I guess you're using it for the good of the bad people. But still, you all, our world is changing. Can you sense it? I know. So, if you've made it this far in life, congratulations, because I'm sure you had to go through a whole lot of major tribulations, a lot of storms in your life to get this far in life. A whole lot, and it's made you stronger. It didn't make you weaker. If you're watching this video, you know that you grew stronger through the trials that you went through, everything that you went through, your life's experience. And you probably went through a lot different than some people, even more different than I have, but it doesn't make us less important. It doesn't make us less of a person on the inside or a spiritual being. It's just what it took in this lifetime to get us to where we are today, you all. It is. I've done ran my mouth too much. So we're at a critical juncture. Something is about to happen. And can you sense it? You may not be able to see it in front of your eyes, physically see it, but in the spiritual world, you can see it because you're seeing it with your senses on the inside of you. You're seeing it. And there's a lot of you who are spiritual warriors, there's a lot of people who are prayer warriors, but there are a lot of people, that's where you battle in the spiritual realm, but you were meant for this. You really were in the spiritual realm to do your battles. And the spiritual realm knows it. If you are a spiritual warrior inside this body, the spiritual realm that's out there, who are like dark warriors, they're spiritual too. They know it. They know who you are. They recognize your spirit. They recognize the frequency, because we all have a type of frequency that's all the same, and they know it. They know it. You're vibrating on a different frequency. And the darkness knows that these spiritual entities that are out there, they're everywhere. And they're trying to, that's another type of species we've got to worry about too. You don't have to worry about it because you know they're there. They've always been there. But that's another type of species that is on this earth, and it's stepping up its invasion. It needs bodies. It really does need bodies too. That's okay. That's okay. We're aware of it, and that's the first step. Yeah, as long as you're aware, then you can work accordingly. You can work with what you've been given on this earth. You can. And you can ask for more. You will be equipped. You will be equipped on the inside of you for anything that you have to battle, anything you have to encounter in this life. You will be equipped if you're supposed to encounter it, you all. So our world is changing, and okay, that's it. Yes, I'm done. I'm done talking, you all. Yeah, sometimes I talk too much. That's okay, you all. I really do tell a whole lot that I shouldn't tell, and talk about, I expose myself in too many ways. I really do, internally, on the inside of me. But that's all right, you all. I'm an open, more or less like an open book. I've got nothing to hide. That's why I never did hop off the YouTube. I don't got nothing to hide. I want you to see me. I want you to know everything about me. That way I don't take you by surprise, so they can watch me. See, this is the best place. Be right here where you can be watched worldwide. That's right. So you don't got nothing to hide. You want to share something, go ahead and share it. You might get your video kind of shadow banned or your channel, but at least they're watching me. That's right. And they're watching all the other channels, even though your views are down, even though you know the traffic to your channel has been slowed dramatically. That's okay. You're still allowed to do what you want, because really, if they take you out, if they took all the people out, that's not fun for them, you all. It really is not fun. It's not a challenge. And some of these species, they love the warrior spirit. They love it. They love an opponent with a warrior spirit. Even in these video games, you start at a small level. You do. The lowest level. And once you beat that level, then you go up and you fight a boss at that level. Then you go up to the next level and you fight another boss that's a little bit more powerful. Then you go up. See, they like it. They want you to build up your strength because they like a challenge. And I'm not just saying that. And like, how would you like to watch a boxing match or something like that? And you're watching this guy who's a really good boxer, and they just throw in somebody who don't even know how to box. That's not no entertainment. It isn't. Or even a track meet. You're running a race, and you've got somebody in there who you know ain't going to run, and you're running. What good is that? No, there's no entertainment in it for some of these beings, really. There's no challenge. Trust me. They love a challenge. They're not going to take everybody out. No, it's too easy. Then they get bored. They get very, very bored. You got to be stubborn, and you got to be bullheaded at times, or you got to play their game and be one of them. Play their game and share what they want you to share, and they'll leave you alone. But that's okay, you all. It's okay. It really is. Gina's going to go, you all. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill and relax on that engine on that Jeep. I think I found a problem with the overflow tank of the radiator fluid. I had a misfire, cylinder 6 and cylinder 1. Let me talk auto mechanics. Cylinder 6 and cylinder 1 misfire. And I thought, oh, is it the antifreeze in the oil or something? So I pulled out all the coils. I did, disconnected and pulled them out, took the spark plugs out. The one side of the engine, the spark plugs were in there pretty snug. The other side, on the passenger side, not too snug because it has all the, the breather assembly and stuff. But the back, that's number 6 cylinder, as soon as I pulled it out, before I even pulled it out, I noticed, like right under the overflow hose, there's a lot of radiator fluid that had crusted, and it had like leaked down into like this little lip on top the, I don't know, cylinder block. And then when I pulled out the coil for the number 6 cylinder, it was all old, and it kind of shrank, and I saw the spark plug. It had like, I could taste it. I tasted the threads on the spark plug. It had a taste of antifreeze on it. But I looked down into the chamber. There's nothing inside there. What happened is because it was an old coil and it didn't have a good seal, and that spark plug was not screwed in there really good. That was the only coil that was not replaced in that engine. I thought that's what happened. The hose sprayed out because this coil was so old, and it will deteriorate your coils. And it did that. So I went and got a shop vac, and I improvised. I stuck a tube, fuel line tube on the end, taped it on there, and then I stuck a straw, really skinny straw into there. And I sucked out that little puddle of antifreeze that was sitting on top that area by the valve cover where the mass overflow leaks. Sucked it all out. And then I stuck it down in there around the chamber. I think, well, if there's anything in there, I'll try to suck it out. But there wasn't nothing in there. And then I noticed the clamp on that hose was not tight at all. And it was very hard to get to. And I think that's why it wasn't tight. So I tightened that really down really good with my socket, my ratchet, 8mm. And I left it overnight. I think, well, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to look at it. And I went ahead and bought my coils. And I'm going to put the gaps to around a .40 for that type of Jeep. So that I like doing that. Now, how did that stuff come naturally to me too? Really, since I was a child, it came naturally. I picked it up just like that. How come? Have I done it before in another lifetime? Quite possibly, really. But I'm going down there, I'm going to do that. It's my Gina time, is what it is. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Don't ever give up. We're at a critical juncture. Something is coming. Can you sense it? I can sense it. We may not be able to see it, but our senses, our spiritual senses, with these spiritual senses that we've been given, our intuition and stuff, we can see it.